Matt Patricia was fired
About time.
after the Thanksgiving loss against the Houston Texans. Him and the GM of the Detroit Lions. Okay, we've been talking about firing Matt Patricia since I think the second year of his tenure. What do you guys think the Detroit Lions need? They will have a top 10 pick, presumably. Detroit hasn't been a winning team since forever. They didn't have any excitement since Megatron back in those days. What do you think this Lions team need? Me personally, I think, like I tweeted, it's time for Matthew Stafford to go find a new place to play. It's time for them to start fresh, start over, and get ahead. I don't know what head coach they need.
I do.
Oh, talk to me then.
Richard Sherman, man, came back this week and had an interception. Played great in the win against the Rams for the 49ers to sweep them boys. Afterwards, went post-game and said Robert Saleh would be a great head coach candidate. And then Peter Schrager, I was watching Good Morning Football. Shout out to them and Nate. Man, they was talking about how Robert Saleh could coach for the Lions. He grew up in Detroit, has family in Detroit, grew up a Detroit fan. Now, it would be interesting to see if they would go with a defensive approach after doing with Patricia. But you're kind of already invested defensively into that team. That's where all your salary cap is. You just drafted Jeff Okudah with the number 3 pick. So I don't think it's a bad look. I just think they would have to bring somebody in who's gifted offensively that could elevate that team. Bieniemy is not going to be a number 2. I don't feel like he would leave Kansas City and be a number 2 somewhere. But I would be interested to see him in a situation with Robert Saleh. I think Saleh would leave to go be a number 2 under Bieniemy. I could see that. I don't know if those guys have any connections. I'm just saying a duo I would like to see coach and win some football games, all for Black excellence. So those would be 2 head coach candidates next year. But I think, what's his name? Robert Saleh would be a great choice for the Lions.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I just think even if he is the head coach, you got to fix the offense. Golladay can't stay healthy, or Marvin Jones, if they pick either one. You have a stud tight end who I think is really good, and TJ Hawkinson. And you drafted DeAndre Swift and UJ. I just think you got to fulfill the quarterback position. The quarterback position is just Stafford just been so above average or average for so long that, and they recently gave him a contract extension. I think it's time for him to move on from Stafford and potentially go acquire a quarterback in this draft like Trey Lance or Mac Jones or Kyle Trask. Somebody like give this franchise a spark. I think that's what this team is missing. What about you, Cut? What do you think this Lions team need, head coachly and personality?
I like the idea of a defensive. Well, they just had a defensive-minded coach, but I don't know. Maybe an offensive-minded coach wouldn't be bad. I think they need to shake it up though. They do need to let Stafford be free. I like the idea of Stafford going to a team like with a quarterback that's kind of like young and struggling. So like a team like, the Niners, or a team like
the Saints should go after him if Breeze retire.
Yeah, I like that. Cause I know the Saints, we're not about to develop anybody. We're in a prime spot in our division.
And the roster is loaded.
Right. You just bring somebody in there that give them weapons. And Sean put him in that little program he got going and get it going. And I like the idea of they have a young talent in Okudah, and he's still adjusting to the league. They got a lot of old players over there. I don't know what exactly was trying to be built, but they need to blow it up and
blow it up.
I mean, they really could. I'm trying to think of what they really need, and it's like the only good thing they have is a decent O-line and Swift. And as far as that, everybody else is older. They need to go. Marvin Jones.
They have Hawkinson. Galladay can't stay.
Hawkinson can stay. Galladay can't stay healthy. I don't know. Maybe you get rid of him as well. Overhaul. But maybe you keep Galladay, but I know Marvin Jones is old. But
this Detroit teams are cursed. What did they do? They're almost worse than Atlanta.
Yeah. And then the defensive side of the ball, they got a couple good defensive players in their front seven, and then I know they got Okudah. And then the secondary is, other than that, is
they got Truth.
They got rid of Quandre. They got rid of what good is going on there? I don't know.
Quandre and Alton Robinson. He also plays for Seattle. And then they leave because I know Alton Robinson left because he was beefing with Patricia.
And Slay was too, I heard.
Yep.
So what else? If it was between the coach and Slay, the coach was leaving.
Facts.